the word artist is a word that is very much difficult for me. The word, because people in all
How
over,
so?
they call them, people call themselves artists. I'm an
Hmm.
artist. I think, no, you're not an artist yet. You may become one if you really continue. It's a word that irritates me and very rarely do. This place is an institution.
How long you been coming here?
About 15 years.
It's your own Rick's Cafe.
And I'll get down to brass tacks. You know, the actress Loren Rose said, for some people, cinema means something superficial and glamorous. But I think it is the mirror of the world.
Jacqueline, how are you?
Good, I'm good, thank you.
Where are you? Where in the world are you today?
I'm in my house.
In Los Angeles or England?
LA.
Oh, there you go. Very nice. I'm in Chicago, so bad weather and all, and then chilly for the summer. So I wish I was in LA.
No.
How's everything been in your life? I know now the movie's coming out and all, but everything's been good. Or any vacations for you planned for the summer?
I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm so pleased that we've got a distribution, a little bit of a distribution, and the film's going to be seen because I care about this film a lot.
I was gonna, a lot of kind of takeaways I had watching this. First of all, I was thinking, how much of it was like you speaking on your experiences, like legitimately, versus the script of it? So I felt like a lot of it could have been stuff, the advice or things you shared. It could have been stories that you actually experienced in your real life.
Could have been, but they weren't. It's all scripted.
Okay. Well, that's good writing then, I guess, in that case, if it made me think twice about it.
Incredibly good writing. That was what was so exciting about it.
Mm-hmm. When you read a script, I mean, you've read hundreds and probably thousands of scripts. What are things you look for, or things that attract you to a script? Is there like a moment, like a light bulb moment, like, oh, this is something for me?
Well, at this point, it's more I'm looking for something I haven't done before.
Mm-hmm.
Something a wall to climb. I'd like there to be something I haven't done and something that makes me have a challenge of some sort. It can be almost invisible to somebody else, but I know it's there.
Mm-hmm.
I like to have sympathy with the person, whatever they need to have some depth of some sort. I look for depth because you can't do much with something that's just, unless it's comedy, of course, then it's lightweight. But I look for meat and potatoes, really.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
What was challenging then for you about this role, the challenge that you found in this film and slash role?
well, this is actually very challenging. This character. I was worried about not being the person of the introduction of the character is not played by me because that's me young, and this
Mm-hmm.
reputation that has been evolved into her early life has come into her older life. So I was worried that I didn't have enough of that issue in my part of the script. I was worried that I needed a bit of madness. I needed the bit of the irritation, this character who was embarrassing at times. Like I
Mm-hmm.
got to be embarrassing in restaurants, singing and not being so unself-conscious at times that she embarrassed her family. She was embarrassing. She didn't have any apology for behaving in a very outrageous way in public, and that was for her daughter. It was tough. It was also surprising for the young director who suddenly sees her start singing the Marseillaise in the restaurant. I mean, there's things like that. I needed all those things, and I kind of hoped I'd have more, but they were written into the early part of the character. So I was bothered by that. But when it got into my adult character, there was a lot of depth and a lot of feeling. With that, I could just eat up, and that's something I gravitate towards. And she likes language, and you sense that this is a person who wants to be an artist and is craving attention of a certain kind. She's not just craving glamour and
Mm-hmm.
at all. It's something much deeper than that. And So there was a lot of food there for me to chew on and to go around corners and to be behind walls. It was shifting. The commas and the full stops and the question marks were always creating a different energy level, and it shifted, constantly shifted. And looking at Kelly Blatz's character and his
Mhm.
rather steady gaze, she was finding her way. It was not a written that she was going to get this part.
Mhm.
It was a seduction in a certain kind of a level, of a different kind of a seduction. She knew she was a great actress. She knew a lot about being a great actress from whatever reason, for whatever reason. So she pulls him in a way, which is quite interesting. And he's young and not a little bit in awe, and but she treats him in a grown up way. She encourages him. She becomes a mentor to him,
Mhm.
really. And by the end, she's really, really standing tall in front of him and saying, be an artist, be yourself. It's very passionate. I can't remember the exact words of the last part of it. Basically, assume your own power and be the artist you want to be. And she said she had been blocked by many things in her life, but she feels he's open to being this
Mhm.
potentially good artist.
It's interesting hearing that
The
perspective
word,
too.
the word artist is a word that is very much difficult for me. The word, because people in all
How
over,
so?
they call them, people call themselves artists. I'm an
Mhm.
artist. I think, no, you're not an artist yet. You may become one if you really continue. It's a word that irritates me, and very rarely do real artists walk around saying I'm an artist. They don't.
They don't, right? Yeah, that is very true.
And then people say this town is full of people say, "What do you do?" I'm an actor, and they've done, nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I was very conscious of that when I began. I would never say I was an actor.
Mm.
People say, "Well, what do you do?" I said, "Well, I do a bit of acting." And it took me years and years and years and years to actually use the word. I aspire to being an artist. I aspire to it, but I'm beginning to feel that possibly I have the beginnings of being an artist
Mhm.
in terms of uh, being able to create something um, that that hasn't been seen before. Beginning, I feel like it.
I get that. That makes a lot of sense, actually. I feel people are quick to put labels on, but the work is what gets you that moniker in a sense, and the length of, the basically sticking around and doing it for a while. The experience gives you that sort of label, I guess, and it's not one
But
to
it's more than that.
self-impose.
But it's still more than that
Yeah, totally.
because there are people. Lots of people are working out. They're working actors, and some of them are artists. A few of them are artists. Some of them are, and some of them are not. They just go through the motions, and there's lots of good actors. God knows this is a town full of wonderful talent.
Hmm.
But artist bothers me to be used in the wrong.
I agree with that, actually. You know,
To aspire to being an artist.
exactly. There's a lot this watching this felt like a theater play, actually, because of it's a lot of dialogue to a lot of words being spoken and conversation. It's just a lot of times these two characters like on screen and there's no distractions really around. And it's kind of interesting it's at a cafe slash restaurant where there's people coming and going, but you're just zeroed in on these two people. It felt like a play watching this. Did you like that sort of feel of it? It was very direct and personal and dialogue heavy too. Do you enjoy that sort of
Loved
almost
it.
theatrical sense of it?
I loved it. I loved doing it. I loved doing it with Kelly Blatz. I loved it. I thought he was wonderful. He was such a wonderful listener. It's just, I mean, it gave me the chance to loosen up and to be really with him, free, very free inside. I felt very, very free inside
Mm-hmm.
playing her because his criticisms of her in the beginning, and the potential, was she going to get this part or not, is very unclear. She was quite offended when he didn't immediately, not offended, but she was hoping she'd get it. But she seduces him in a way,
Mm-hmm.
in a certain level, to getting that part, but more than that, becoming a great friend of his.
Exactly.
So it's over a 6-year period, so that.
Hmm. I thought about this too. You've been doing this for a while. Uh, that and the thing is, like, do you think about at this point in your career, in a sense, and even in your life, like what sort of legacy you'd want to be remembered by? And I don't know if that ties into on-screen and personal life too. Do you have these moments you kind of think about what I want to be remembered by, what people, when they think of me, what I want them to, in a sense, think of, or what I want my legacy in a sense to be?
Yeah, I do occasionally, and I think about film. I think of this film as certainly being one of the ones that the biggest one, and another movie called The Sleepy Time Gal, which was another very independent film, which I did, which was in Sundance in 2001, I think it was. It took 3 years to make it. It's done
Mm,
for very little money, and it's just brilliant. Once again, brilliant script. It's all about the writing. So that film would go, my legacy, and Day for Night, and Rich and Famous, and quite a few other films. But I'm showing, when we're in New York, we're showing Sleepy Time Gal and Loren Rose. I feel two young directors without the trappings of Hollywood, without the trappings of money, without the
mhm.
trappings of bullshit, really done for the art.
That's well said. It's interesting because you had such a lengthy career and, decades really. And it
Yeah,
just,
they
you've
did.
done some things you're very known for, but it's interesting that you're so gravitated and you feel so much for these indies you've done in sort of recent years, including this one that's,
Yeah.
current.
It's called passion.
Hmm.
Passion for these, yeah. And for
Yeah.
the person who made them. I care about these two directors as people. I really admire them both. They're very special people, and they're doing it for in my opinion, for the right reasons. It's not for all the rubbish.
Hmm.
Um, and I just think about I wanted to become an actor when I saw certain actresses do work that has totally inspired me and totally made me want to be part of something that I didn't know. And I would love to inspire other people to feel that way about it. That's what I think and there's elements of in Loren and Rose that I think will do that to young actors, young actresses, give them the little something that makes you want to, words that expand your being, like what she says um, to Lauren in the end of the film, towards the end.
Hmm. Guess I'll wrap by asking, what sort of things do you enjoy in your personal life? Like, do you have any hobbies, interests outside of performing? What sort of things make you happy and maybe clear your mind from all this stuff going on in the world or whatnot? What sort of
Oh,
things are you drawn to?
I love reading about what's going on in the world.
Interesting.
I love reading about it. I don't love reading about all the horrors, but some part of it's all very interesting to me. I like current events a lot. I read a
Hmm.
lot about foreign countries, and of course you can't avoid but listening to what's going on politically.
Sure.
It's all very upsetting. Um, it's almost mind-boggling that one person can cause such chaos
Hmm.
um, and disarray in the world in this country, America, which is such a great country. I just feel it's getting a very peculiar image, and and not a good one with all
In the
this going
current
on.
state, in
Yeah,
the.
really, it's just like.
Mhm. I
It's
think it's good to pay attention to the world and see kind of the perspective because, we're living in it and it kind of affects everyone, even one country, it kind of trickles down effect to the whole world.
totally.
Hmm.
And the image of America is a bit off at the moment. I don't think it's doing particularly well. It's just sad. It makes me sad a bit because it is still. I mean, the democracy of this country is an enormous thing. It's an enormous thing,
Hmm.
and it's been so inspirational to so many people. And one hopes that it will continue to be.
Well said. This has been a pleasure to get to talk to you. I love the sense of style too. First of all, you look stunning. You know what I mean? You're ageless, first of all. And I love even the style of your place behind. It just seems like you have a special aura about you, Jacqueline. And that's really cool to see. And keep being you, and doing passionate projects. It's really fun to watch and enjoy.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Hopefully you get to connect again on the next one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Visit d'arte, visit amore, le for art, le for love.